Hey, what's up, guys? Little man with a big opinion here. I haven't been on in a while because we have been dealing with a pretty substantial amount of tornado watches, tornado warnings. Even working up at the school, we've had to do a bit of sheltering in place. But it's a good thing because it shows me how long my little, battery banks last. Because we sit in the closet instead of having our phones plugged into uh, the wall. Uh, the very first time I had to hop into that closet, uh, I'm sitting there, I'm looking around, and it's like, okay, here's a lantern. I've got matches next to it. Uh, I keep some like protein bars. Uh, I've been getting these big variety packs, and I eat them kind of as my breakfast, just to help with my like calorie counting. Uh, and I will let you know, as a prepper, if you're trying to store, for instance, Cliff Bars. This says white chocolate cranberry. I've got that one. I've got a spiced pumpkin pie, and I have a peppermint bark. I got their limited edition seasonal flavors from Walmart, and they were about $3 cheaper. I mean, Cliff Bars are kind of expensive uh, because they're a well-known brand, uh, and you can see this with all different kinds of foods. When it comes to the end of that like season, stores typically try to uh, get those sold off, and to do that, they drop the price a few dollars. So I keep easy stuff like that. Obviously, during a tornado, I'm not worried about setting up, a camp stove and trying to cook some of my mountain house meals. But if we have to sit there, we've got those bars. I've got MREs, that sort of thing. And that's just one closet in my hallway. So the point of today's video is we say as preppers, if you are preparing for this situation, you're really preparing for several different ones. You generally prep the same way for a zombie apocalypse as you do a hurricane, as you do an economic collapse, as you do nuclear fallout. Generally speaking, most of the stuff is the same. Uh, uh, and, here lately, on the natural disaster side of things, I've really had to kind of think about where I've got stuff positioned in the house and am I really prepared for this? Uh, so if you haven't had to go through, that situation, uh, summer's getting really close. Kids are going to be back at home. Uh, just set up a simple plan, discuss it. You know, I'm going to be a Boy Scout here and do it based off of the EDGE method: educate, demonstrate, guide, enable. So you get your whole family, you sit down at the kitchen table, um, and y'all discuss, you know, this is what we're going to do for this situation, this is what we do for this situation, this is what you grab, this is, where we meet up. That's educate. Demonstrate. You do a walkthrough of, you know, if let's say our house is on fire, what do? And we walk through the motions. We all go outside, we meet. For us, it's under our tree uh, which is kind of close to the fire hydrant. That's where the fire department's going to be, and that is where we, take stock of, our situation. Who's out? Who are we waiting on? And that's just that one scenario. And then for guide, uh, you know, so I myself, I'm the big prepper in my family. So I don't have kids, but if you have kids, then you say, okay, little Timmy, what are you gonna do? And he kind of walks through. He does what he's doing. He's grabbing his go bag. He's putting his shoes on. And if he's making any mistakes, you correct him there. And if he's doing things good, you encourage that. You reinforce it. And then you really can't, do a true enable unless you're in that situation. But you can do a soft enable where, you know, kind of like how at school, once a semester, once a year, they do a fire drill. Everyone lines up, they go outside, they do an accountability check, and then you go in. Good job, you did it correct. You can do the same thing with your family. And in having that plan, having worked through it, uh, you know, the way they described it in the military was, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Um, you're going to be stressed out when you're actually having to enable your prepping plan. Uh, and so having practice runs of what you're going to do is a whole lot better than you've stored up all these supplies, you've bought all the guns, you've watched all the YouTube videos, you know, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification because you never know when I'm going to release one. You've done all the different things, and then, crap actually hits the fan, and you're kind of off to a slow, bumpy start. So don't be that person. I remember seeing a meme, where it's better to have a $500 setup and $1,500 worth of training than a $2,000 setup and no training. And the $2,000 setup was a super obese person that had, nods and every attachment on his AR and a plate carrier that had 50 different things on it. And his leg was getting chewed off by a zombie. Other guy had a bare bones AR. He had a chest rig, not a plate carrier, that had magazine pouches, a first aid kit, and a camelback. And he was just wearing regular cargo pants and some hiking shoes. And dude had grabbed the helmet and the nods off the other person and kept running. So don't be the guy that spent $2,000 on equipment and never did any training. But also don't be the person that has learned, or at least watched, you've done the educated from the EDGE method. You've seen them demonstrate how to do it, and then you're not actually, going through with those kind of things. You can watch someone build a log cabin. It's kind of a hobby of mine as I watch the different YouTube channels of, this person built a log cabin with a minimum amount of tools, or there's a dozen or so different channels, especially people up in the Canadias. But I've never actually built a log cabin. And so the first time I would put weak skills to the test is actually building it. So, with that being said, let me know in the comment section down below if your family, does a practice fire drill or a practice, bug out? Have you talked with your friends and family on, how you group up and prepare for the situation? Whether you're all at home eating dinner, or you're at work, in school, or shopping, or whatever. Let's get a conversation going in the comment section. And then, if you like this video, then like it. If you like what I'm doing with my channel, then consider subscribing. And lastly, it would be very great of you if you know someone that is trying to get into prepping, or is trying to find a decent prepping channel. Go ahead and share one of my videos with them, and let's keep climbing for that 1,000 subscribers. I'll catch you in the next one.